Hey guys, Sensei Keith, Survival Martial Arts. And today I wanted to react to a post that I read on Facebook in one of the little prepper groups that I belong to. And the question came in that was asking about the age-old question about bugging out or staying put. To clarify where this writer was coming from was that they were handicapped with small children and wanted to know that if it would be okay to fortify their house to try to create a shelter in the basement to weather any storm. And of course, the reactions that came through in the thread were the typical, no, you need to have a backup plan, a bug out location, and all of this stuff staged and prepped along the way. And in a perfect world, yes, that's true. There needs to be contingency plans and backup plans for everything. But the truth of the matter is, and this is where I stand with this, is that in an emergency, everything that you do, you need to do a risk assessment. You need to look at the options that you have in front of you and make the best decision for your family and yourself in terms of safety and getting through the crisis. So when you in making the risk assessment, the key item that you need is intel. You need comms. You can't, if you don't have any information on what's going on in the travel corridor to get to your bug out location, and you don't have any intel about what the situation is there on the home front, then chances are, if you don't have the answers to those questions, unless things are really bad where you are, you should probably stay put. And in the absence of any information, you always assume the worst. So in risk assessment, you have to analyze the situation and try to make the best decision. So with that said, when you're living at home, in the martial arts, we're working on self-perfection. We're trying to improve ourselves every step of the way with every aspect of our life. And part of that is our living conditions, where we live, where we habitate. And so to make improvements on your home is, in essence, just an extension of your martial arts training, of being the best version of you can be. And in terms of preparedness and survival skills, then it becomes pretty obvious how to approach that. You just have to, there are things that you can do to weather the storm a little bit better than putting all your time, energy, and resources into and establishing a bug out location. Now, I've been in the process of this for a long time, and I can tell you the amount of time, hours, and energy that goes into the research and the planning and the work, and it's a lot. It's a lot. And had I taken all that time and energy and put it back towards the actual stuff on my home front, I wonder how much more capable I would be. So that's really where my focus is now, is fortifying the home front, being protected, being set up for just about anything. And that's where all your prep should start anyway. You should start in terms of mastering where you live and in terms of all of the aspects of survival, from navigation and communication, making sure that you can reach out to the outside world and get information on where you want to go so you can make a good risk assessment if the situation comes that you do have to bug out. Having navigation skills and all the maps laid out so that you have all the exit routes covered and where you're going to go and how you're going to get there and possible threats along the way. Food storage, medical stuff in case it's a pandemic and some sort of flu. And the flu this year has been exceedingly nasty, so it just, I don't know, if it kind of scares me to what's going to come in the future. Having a backup heating system in your house, not relying on anything electric driven, even if it's just a small wood stove in your shed with enough pipes to run it out a window. And enough stuff to protect you in case of a fire. But having a heating, cooking backup system, and then having wood on hand for that. These are all key things that you can start to develop on your homestead, on where you live now, so that you are better prepared for an emergency. Master where you live now before you worry about developing a long-term homestead plan. Now, if you can find access to a mutual assistance group and fit your way in there, after you've achieved a high level of proficiency in your home, unless, here's the caveat here, unless your home is already you know is going to be danger day one. If you live in a city in a bad neighborhood, and the first thing, you're there for work purposes, and understand that when things go bad, you have to get out of there. Now, hopefully you have a family home that you can go to out in the country somewhere, some different location outside of the danger area, but that's about the only time. If you're living in a normal house in a suburbs or a small town or rural America, then working on your home first is your top priority. Staying put is always going to be, unless you're in that very small percentage that's already living in a danger area. And if that's the case, you might want to consider moving now. But there's a lot of things that you can do that are going to improve your chances, and some of them are almost castle-like fortifications to make your house stronger. Some of them are sleight of hand, witchcraft and wizardry to confuse people and make them think like something's wrong in the house, or something they don't want to come near the house, or downright threatening so that they feel uncomfortable, or misleading so that they know that they don't know what to expect, and they might maybe pass that house by. In terms of this person's comment on Facebook, bug out to stay put, I mean, don't buy into all the stuff that tells you have to have this bug out location, you have to have this cabin in the woods that's set back and it's 10 miles from yada yada yada. If you're a millionaire and you can have that, great, by all means. But if you're an average American like most of us, master where you live now and find the loopholes, find the weak spots, find the holes in your dike and plug them. And then think about, what is your escape route from there, and what are your rally points? Where is your fallback location? And it doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out cabin in the woods somewhere. It just has to be better than where you're at now. And there's a lot of things that you can do to figure that out, but that shouldn't be your priority number one unless you're in a high danger area. So that's it for today. Bugging out or staying put, that's an age-old conversation, and obviously it comes down to where you live and what your circumstances are. But regardless of that, I challenge you to master where you live, to find the weak spots in your defenses, and to find the holes that you have in your preparations and fill them.